I think the really interesting dynamic that will start to become more attractive is the Bitcoin mining load's ability to absorb very low price, zero and negatively priced electricity intervals for generators who are kind of stuck generating during those periods. One thing I think that will become more obvious and more interesting through the halving is most Bitcoin miners, they're bullish. We're betting on the upside, and then you can get long power, and you can arbitrage power versus Bitcoin mining revenue. That business model is out there. Everybody really thinks about that. But I think the really interesting dynamic that will start to become more attractive is the Bitcoin mining load's ability to absorb very low price, zero and negatively priced electricity intervals for generators who are kind of stuck generating during those periods. The guys over at Satoshi Energy, this is their business model, is they help wind farms get co-locations with Bitcoin miners, and in those deals, the Bitcoin miners absorb that excess power that would normally be selling for $0 or negatively priced margins, negative margins for those generators. I think that side of Bitcoin is really interesting, especially when you think about decarbonizing the grid and all of these tax programs that incentivize renewables. I mean, solar panels, you can't buy solar panels for 2 years right now. The boom in solar is just relentless. And normally we really see most of the negative pricing occur in the evening and during periods of low demand when the wind is at its highest output. But we could start to see the proliferation and growth of solar start to drive some of those low cost intervals during the day, during the peak times, especially in the morning when it's not
around
quite so hot.
10 a.m., 11 a.m.
Yeah, we could start to see that the same way that wind farms have eagerly greeted and welcomed Bitcoin miners into co-location schemes. The same thing could happen with solar, where solar says, hey, I need to get me some Bitcoin mining load behind my meter, and I don't want to have to deal with zero and negatively priced power. So as a company, we think the put option is just as compelling as the call option as far as electricity market interaction between Bitcoin miners and power generation. Power generation is concerned, and we think in the halving that's going to become a little bit more obvious, because now you can buy miners pretty cheaply. So if you're an energy derivatives trader and you say, okay, how much would it cost me to buy a put option for power at my wind farm or at my solar farm? If I went and priced that out with a bunch of banks, compare that cost to building a Bitcoin mining data center now, and you get a put option and you get some upside on the price of Bitcoin. I think those numbers are starting to look more favorable with Bitcoin miners trading at much lower prices relative to the last 24 months or so.
Hey, it's Amy. Click over here to subscribe, click over here for more content, and we'll see you next time.